Real estate test questions that can help you pass your real estate exam on the first try. Today, I'm going to cover property ownership and land use. Okay, let's go with question number 1. A homeowner buys a small piece of property that has a small creek or stream running through it. What type of right describes the homeowner's use of the water? A, leasehold. B, alluvium. C, riparian. D, littoral. Correct answer is C, riparian. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but that's how I read it. And so whenever you see this, you just think the landowner's right to use water that is flowing through their property. Now, when it comes to leasehold, that describes a tenant's rights, and alluvium is related to soil deposits suspended in water as a result of erosion. Question number 2. A certain easement lies outside of and adjoins the land which it benefits. The land benefited would be the A, servient tenement. B, dominant tenement. C, easement holder. D, easement in gross. The correct answer here is B, dominant tenement. So the owner of the easement controls the use of the adjoining land and dominates its use. The property subject to the easement serves the easement holder. So that would be the servient tenement. So it's really important with these types of questions, you just understand the definitions. So if you understand the definitions, you're going to be able to quickly identify which ones are the wrong answers and which ones are the right answers. Question number 3. In order for a buyer to be certain that a property they are purchasing has no encroachments, they should obtain A, purchaser policy of title insurance. B, certificate of no defense. C, abstract of title. And D, a survey. And so before I give you the right answer, I want to say that this is actually relevant in the real world. A lot of the questions you get on the real estate exam are not relevant in the real world when you become an agent, but this one is actually somewhat important because people will buy properties, especially when it comes to development and building on land. And in their due diligence, they don't get the correct answer here and they have issues regarding the property lines, or like they buy a property and the neighbor's fence is actually on their property. But the correct answer here is going to be D, survey. In the real world, if you have investor clients that are planning to build on their property line, typically recommend they get a survey so they know exactly where their property lines are. And so like I mentioned with the last question, it's really important to know these definitions. In this specific question, it has definitions that are going to be relevant to your real world work. A policy of title insurance has happened with every transaction that has financing, and an abstract of title gets pulled on everything, on every transaction as well. Here's a rare case of real world application of real estate exam questions. Question number 4. How many acres are there in Southwest 1/4, Northeast 1/4, Northwest 1/4 of Section 13, Blendon Township? For this one, you're going to have to do a little bit of math and you're going to have to know what the question is even asking. So answer A is 5 acres, B, 10 acres, C, 20 acres, D, 40 acres. The correct answer here is B, 10 acres. So I'm going to break this down for you here. A section has 640 acres in it. And so a quarter of a section has 160 acres. A quarter of a quarter has 40 acres, and a quarter of a quarter of a quarter would be 10 acres. I recently passed my broker exam, and I actually had a few questions similar to this, asking about like meets and bounds and the different ways they break down land. So do spend a little bit of time on this and understand what the question is asking. Question number 5. Which of the following terms is most commonly used in California in reference to liens against real property? A, general. B, personal. C, voluntary. D, specific. Correct answer here is D, specific. So statutory liens for taxes and liens such as mortgages, deeds of trust, and mechanic liens are all specific liens. Obviously, this question is specific to California. So if you are studying in a different state, make sure to get the right set of questions for your state. I get asked all the time where I get these questions from or what I think is the best exam test prep. I personally use a company called Calibri. I use them for all three of my exams: real estate, loan officer, and most recently broker license. I have a link below and you can get your state specific exam prep. Full disclosure, it is an affiliate link, so I do make a little bit of money if you decide to purchase something using that link, but I wouldn't recommend it unless I actually used it myself. So if you decide to use it, thanks for supporting the channel, and I hope you do pass on your first try. Okay, let's get into the rest of these questions here. Number 6, the written instrument used to create land restrictions for the benefit of lot owners in a new subdivision is called a blanket deed of restrictions. B, covenant of use. C, declaration of restrictions. D, grant deed. Correct answer here is C, declaration of restrictions. This is just like a basic definition one. Like I said before, if you know a lot of these definitions, you're going to get some easy points on your exam. Question number 7. That which is immovable by law is also known as A, a trade fixture. B, personal property. C, real property. D, leasehold interest. Correct answer here is C, real property. You're probably going to see this one on your exam, so just make sure you know this one. Question number 8. A grantor conveyed a vacant 1-acre tract of land to a grantee. The grantee receives A, 5,280 square feet. B, 64,000 square feet. C, 43,560 square feet. D, 1,000 square feet. Correct answer is C, 43,560 square feet. And this is a funny one to me because you'll always see on real estate memes and social media, like this is something that you'll see on the exam. And I'm really glad that I know how many square feet are in an acre. But it is likely that you'll have at least one question related to something around acreage. So yeah, just go ahead and memorize that number, 4356, and you'll know that's what 1 acre is essentially. Question number 9. Fixtures and showcases attached in a store that occupies rented space are considered A, trade fixtures. B, personal property. C, tenant chatels. D, all of the above. Correct answer is D, all of the above. And the reason why is because trade fixtures are fixtures that can be removed at any time and are considered personal property or chatels of the tenant. Question number 10. Special restrictions to all properties within a subdivision would be found in the A, subdivision plat. B, corporate minutes. C, mortgage agreement. D, record of restrictions. I for sure got this one wrong when I was studying, but the correct answer here is D, record of restrictions. The record of restrictions are found on the deeds to all properties within a subdivision and on the master plat record. And so you've stayed to the end. You're doing your best to pass the exam on the first try. And for that reason, I'm gifting you with a bonus question. Question number 11. How could a trespasser become the owner of real property? Hopefully they don't have any right to take someone else's property, but there is a term for it. So A, easement by prescription. B, affidavit of title. C, easement appurtenant. D, adverse possession. Okay, so this is just another definition one. If you understand what adverse possession means. Okay, so adverse possession is a situation where someone does not actually own the property or have title to a property, but they meet certain requirements. Like maybe they lived in a home for a certain number of years, they paid all the bills, they pay all the property tax for a certain number of years, and then they end up going to court and taking title through adverse possession. Obviously, that's not an ideal situation, but it can happen. So we've gone through 11 real estate test questions. I hope you get these ones on your exam because you're studying them. And I hope this helps you pass your real estate exam on the first try. Down below, there's going to be links to other videos if you want to keep studying with me. And as always, thanks for watching my videos. If you have any questions, you can email me at darren@realdarrenside.com. I'll see you on the next one.